All righty, we are back. All I did there was I took the shoe, I rinsed it, easy peasy. You don't want to do that if you have feathers on the shoe because feathers will get wet and won't just fluff back up. And that's not a trick you want to do on a shoe unless it is bone dry. So don't, if it's partially, if the glue is at all wet and you try to rinse off your lettering, you're going to rinse off your glitter. So if it is fully dry, you can absolutely do a little rinse. And I know that makes people nervous. It's okay to be nervous. Nothing wrong with that. So those are our wedding shoes. Two of them are glettered and finished, basically, other than a few little funsies, rhinestones that I know you guys won't begrudge me a couple little fun rhinestones and pearls. And so now we can do the jewelry boxes, the ones that we did in robin's egg blue. And we of course did, these are in various stages of completion as I sort of sort out what I want to go where. We did 4 of these. 2 of them we did in the semi-sheer iridescent, which has a brighter sparkle, and then 2 of them we did in the velvet, which is a little bit more smooth and pearlescent, a little bit more of a glow, but also very pretty. And these, of course, took about twice as long, and these are just a different texture. So I am figuring out what I want to go where, which ring is going into which shoe. You go sit over there with your friends. I am figuring out what's going where. This one is done or attached. I might check. The ribbon looks pretty good. I don't think I have any touch up to do on the ribbon. I think all she needs is her lettering. So I will set her aside and catch her sisters up to her. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do, let's see. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Does she already have a ring? Yeah. So all of the rings are accounted for. So I'm going to do the gold ring in here. I'm just figuring out who I want where. I think I want the Martha Stewart sterling silver with the silver trim because those kind of go together, kind of a similar tone. So I like that. And then the white, one of the white trimmed ones will get a gold shoe, and then the other, both velvets are going to get silver rings. Do I want to mess around with that? No, I think I'm happy with that I think I'm happy with that configuration. But I would like to point out for all me going, oh, I do this and I do that. And what if I do this with this? And what if I do this, this color combo? For all of my like goofy side by side comparison stuff, all of it is fine. All of it is lovely. You do not need to lose any sleep to the question of which combination. All of them are great. You could pick up any of the metallics that I used, and any of them would be great. All right, I'm gluing the bow onto the ribbon here. I've put the ring in, and I need to let it sit. The other thing that I sometimes do is I push the ring in and I get fingerprints on the rhinestone. And my desire to fix that immediately is absolutely, I get very fixated on that. I'm like a beaver that hears the sound of running water, and I'm like, nope, we're gonna fix it right now. Don't. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to wait, she said to herself. I know it's hard to wait, but if I wait and the hot glue has a chance to do its job, which is holding the ring in place, then I can buff out the little smudgies. I'm paranoid now. I'm like, are we live? Because I got. It's my own fault, but I did got. All right, she's good to go. Pretty pretty. I am going to touch, I can see a few little bald spots on her, so I am going to touch those up, but I'll probably do it all in one go. Probably makes sense to do it all in one go. Let's put the girls together. All right, I've got 2, I think I checked and I have enough stones, but I got to find them all. Pretty sure I've got the right number. And if not, we can budget a little. Yeah, beautiful. We are Gucci. We've got one to spare. Oh, and those are my little pearls that I'm gonna take my girls in and just kind of have a little quality time curling them. But yeah, I've got tons of like fun little white wedding stuff. This would have been really pretty. This iridescent, she would have been fun. Next time. There's always a next time. Yeah, I've got tons of stuff to play with, and I'm gonna. These I think are very pretty, but they kind of gave me like a slightly poinsettia, like Christmassy vibe. But they are really pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Anyway, so this could have definitely gone on. Oh, maybe we'll do that. Maybe. Um, we got options. But basically, as I'm cleaning up, if I find stuff that has a bridal vibe, I throw it in the bridal box. And then when I'm ready to put bridal stuff together, I got options. Okay. 1, 2. Let me put the rings in the boxes. Big dollop on the bottom of the ring, 2 smaller dollops where the ring touches the shoe. Do And I wouldn't be careful not to like torque it so much that the shoe like warps. You want the silhouette of the shoe to be clean. So angle it in there nice and delicate and then let it sit. All right, putting the bow on this one. Just a little dollop of hot glue right where the ribbon is gathered. And then we wait patiently, which we're so good at. Patience is absolutely one of our talents. My question now on the Tiffany boxes, on the wedding ring, on the jewelry boxes, on the robin's egg blue jewelry boxes. I don't think I've gotten it right a single one time, guys. Um, the question now for me is, do I letter them in white or do I letter them in silver? That's a decision. This one I did the bow right on the center. This one I'm going to angle slightly because the ring is slightly angled. So it's going to be a little off to the side, just giving it a little bit of kind of a little angle. And I am putting 1 big dollop on the bottom and 2 dollops where it touches. And, I would love it if no hot glue ever showed ever, but I do need it to be strong. So I'm willing to make some small concessions in the interest of good engineering. Okay, beautiful. Little ring of glue, make my little sandwich, line it up, press it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. In she goes. And this size rhinestone is just perfect. It's exactly right. So it is nope, not you. It is the 52 millimeter giant round. And we have these in different colors at Craft Culture. So if your engagement ring was a sapphire or something, we maybe have got that. I don't know for sure. I don't know what we have at any given time, but we do have them in different colors. And we have a pretty fat stash of these AB ones because they are so flippin' gorgeous. All right, ring, a little swirl of hot glue, line up my sandwich, press it together. And then she gets, they're coming together fast now that we have all the pieces, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. In she goes. Set her nice and pretty. Oh, I should have, it would have been smart if I had shown you guys what the ring looks like if you just use the ring off the bead. So it looks like that. I just find that I find it a little chintzy. I personally really like the stone, but you can definitely, especially if they're just for you to throw on the route and not like your best friend forever is getting married, you can absolutely use the ring as it is. I just find that a little bit cartoonish, whereas this I think is super elegant for a carnival throw that has been completely glittered. All things are relative. Okay, and I angle my little bow on there. Cute, cute. So now my decision. Oh, they're so cutie. What a bunch of cuties. Look at my 1, 2, Uh, 3, 4. Look at my girls. Aren't they pretty? So now the only I need to touch up the bows because some of the bows have bald spots, and that's okay. I'm going to tell y'all, I like the silver better than the white trim. I have the white. I thought I was going to love the white because it was going to pick up the white of the bow, but I'm liking the silver a little bit better. So now my decision is what color do I want to letter these? Because on my white ones, I matched to the metal of the ring. I couldn't do white on white because it would not show. So now I've got choices. So what I sometimes do when I'm on the fence about what color I want to letter is I take them and I do a little pinch to see how I feel about it. Okay, I think I'm going to do silver on the silver. Yeah, I'm going to do silver on the silver and I'm going to do white on the gold one. And you can look at it and then when you're done, you just brush it off, because it's not, if there's no glue, it's not going to stick. So, and that goes into your especial, of course. Of course. Okay. So I said I'm going to do silver on the silver. Do I want to do the same silver or do I want to do this? I don't really have a ton of the sterling silver and I want to save some to formulate. So I'm going to go ahead. That's my answer. And remember from last one, I don't want my muses to be too big because then it's a bit, I lose some of the elegance. So what would be super cute, and I don't have the time in the context of the shoe marathon, that sacrifices must be made for keeping to my target schedule. So for me, I'm not going to do this, but you could make transfers that said Muses & Co. in the font. You know the one. Beautiful. And she is going to be DEA badge silver. Beautiful. Oh, that's very pretty. And then I'm going to do 2027 on her over here. Going to do a little 2027. And I did the 0 kind of fancy. 2027 Muses, she needs a little touch up on her boat, but is otherwise done. When the lettering dry, I can probably do that. I can do that. You get it. We get it. Whoopsies. I think that, let's see, it's just some tiny little touch-ups and a few little spots where the bow just didn't get glue or the glitter flaked off or whatever. So a little touch-up. But yeah, it would be very cute to do Muses & Co. in the font and put it on here. It would be laborious because each of those tiny little letters would have to be glued on. But I am certainly not going to tell somebody something is too much the way I roll through these. All right. Okay. Touch-ups. And I'm going to be very careful with my alignment. Little hot glue stringies. They'll make you crazy. Crazier than you already are. Okay. Bow is touched up. She's got her 2027 and her muses. When she dries, we are going to bag her. We're going to, well, we need to put one. Oh, we don't need to put a jewel because she had the platform trick where we looped it all the way around. She is properly done. All she needs is a brushing A double check. I like to check them in the sunshine to see if I missed anything. You will notice different errors in the sunshine than you can see in your craft room. So the sun check always happens right before she gets bagged, but she is otherwise good to go. I will set her down here with her wedding ring sisters. And now I'm going to do white lettering on her. And then we're going to make decisions about what we want to do on these two. All right. Nice. I'm actually going to touch her up. This time I'm going to touch her up before I letter because the lettering is a little more delicate than the touch up. So just a little paintbrush, little glue. Basically the only spot I really notice as being in desperate need, desperate is perhaps putting it a little strongly, in serious need of the touch up. I'm still paranoid that I'm actually live. In desperate need of the touch up is the bow where I push it. I think my finger is just, when I push it into the hot glue, I'm just smudging it a little bit, but that's okay. Because we can always touch it up. And that's what we're going to do. And then it will be gorgeous. It was already gorgeous, but it'll be the way we want it to be. And we're allowed to want it a certain way. It's our creation. All right. Make sure I got everything where I want it. Get the hot glue strings out of the way. Check for, there's one piece of confetti that I would like to dislodge. Oh, two pieces of confetti that I would like to dislodge. Just so it looks the way I want it to look, which is perfectly harmonious. All right. Bow touched up, looking good. Got one more bow to touch up, so I might as well. The other bow looks fine. I don't need to touch her up. I only needed to touch up 3 out of the 4. So that was probably the first one I did where I went back in and like touched her up real good. So, the one that I started earliest is the one that I had the most time to sort of luxuriate in my touch-ups, and so she's the most thorough. No surprises there, but that would be my guess. So if it's important to you that your ribbons be absolutely flawless, you can do a little bit more glittering before you glue them on, but I was kind of ready to glue them on, I was kind of ready to get rolling. Okay. I was kind of ready to spill my glue. I cannot believe how fast I went. I feel like I just washed all those brushes and I have to wash them all again. That's all right. Means that we're getting work done. One fleck of confetti that I want to get with my pin. I love you, confetti, but just not when I'm doing this. It's normal towards the end of the jar to have a few little hitchhikers. Because like even if you're pretty tidy, the hitchhikers are gonna get in there. The level of tidiness you would have, you'd have to be so, I mean, you would get like one shoe done a year if you wanted it to be so clean and perfect that nothing ever touched anything. Okay. Okay. She looks good. I thought I saw a little extra piece of confetti winking at me, and I did, but I brushed her off. Okay. So now we just need to letter. Now we just need to drop some things. Now we just need to letter. This still feels good. I'm going to do white. I think I'm going to do white across the, well, let me see how I like the white on this one. Nice, delicate muses. Not too big, but not too small. And if you're doing a transfer, I do recommend kind of printing out your template and holding it up to the shoe. You can even cut it out and kind of place it where you want it to check, because it's very easy to adjust the transfer and it is not possible to adjust the lettering once it's very easy to adjust the template, but it's very difficult to change the glitter art once it's done. Pretty pretty. Why is that wet? What did I splash myself with? A little bit of paint, I think, was on that. I'm not going to use the iridescent white. I'm going to use where's my buff gras? I think that'll read. It's a different white than the bow, but I think it'll work because it's on the shoot. I could be wrong, but let's find out. And that's good because it has a lot of silver in it. I'll probably do that on the rest of them. Beautiful. Yeah, I really like the white on the Tiffany. That's pretty. All right. And then 2027. My bottle still feels okay in terms of fullness. I've done this enough that I can usually feel it when the bottle is going to start spitting because it's too low, but not every time. All right. 2027 Muses. When she dries, she's done. She also does not need anything else because she did the little platform sling around. So she will be done. She will be ready once she's dry. We've got so many girls who are going to be ready when they dry. These two will need, I'll want to put that little button on the back. What's rattling? Oh, a little pearl snuck in there. A little sneaky pearl. But yeah, they'll get a brush. They'll get their words. Come on, words. They'll get a good brushing. They'll get their little spider webs cleaned off. They'll get their sunshine check, and then we'll bag them. But what fun. We're going to be bagging, and we aren't even at the very end of April. We're pretty close, but we aren't quite there. This one is quite delicate, so we need to keep the muses quite delicate, but we can do that. We can do that. Beautiful. White paint, white glitter. I do find myself now wishing that I had used the Buff Gras on the bows. I think that would have been really pretty. But the Miss May is also very pretty. And I don't write the 2027 on my wedding ones just in case there's a bridal situation, but I'm not going to have a jewelry box situation. Pretty, pretty. Yeah, the combo of Buff Gras with the Robin's Egg Blue is stunning. All right, she is done, except she needs one little rhinestone right there. That is all she needs. And then she is ready. Ooh, I got a good sized little pile of these now. I'm feeling good about it. All right. Same boat. She just needs one little rhinestone and then she's Gucci. So I will dig in my stash a little bit and I will also just take a little peek to see if exactly what I need is just on the shelf ready for me to purchase it without having to horror of horrors actually look through the stash of things I've already purchased. Seems unfair to ask me to do that, to be responsible for my own crafting stash. Who would ask such a thing? When I am literally just a girl. Okay. That's really beautiful. I really love the combo of white paint. So it's white mist, iridescent scribbles. Oh, actually, this is the white metallic. White metallic. White metallic and white mist are like maybe not twins, but sisters. They might be twins. I'm not sure. All righty. But except for the very, very final stuff, the very, very end of the line stuff, that is, they need to dry, of course, but that is, let me unplug my glue gun. She's been on a rampage lately. Okay, that is, how many times can I start that sentence and not finish it? That is one, two, three, four. You see them all? That is four jewelry box shoes done. We did it. Got our little last minute checks. They have to dry, of course. We'll give them a good hard brushing to make sure we get all the little bits off. And then we can bag them up and they'll need their little jewel. They'll need a jewel right there. But then we can bag them all up and pat ourselves on the back real good. They look great. They look awesome. I'm chuffed to bits with those. Oh, my pretties. My pretties. Can I flip it around? Sometimes it lets me flip it around and sometimes it doesn't. All right. There we go. There's the patina velvet and a sterling silver ring with an AB stone and white letters. This one is our iridescent semi sheer with the pearl jam mixed in, and it gives it so much fun, juicy confetti goodness. It's got the white lettering, and this one actually has a gold band with the AB stone. And then this one is that Martha Stewart sterling silver, that weirdo stuff. Sterling silver, which is kind of a champagne, and then white. I did silver lettering on her. I like the white better, but I'm glad I tried it out. And it kind of goes with she got the kind of silver heel, so she's slightly different. And then my last little patina velvet with a silver band and white lettering. And so those are my beauties. Those are my beauties today. Whew, that is extremely satisfying. And then of course we also have the wedding shoes, which have a little bit further to go. This one needs some embellishment on her, and then I will letter her once she's embellished because I don't want to jump the gun on that. This one is basically done. I will probably add some naughty little jewels to her, but this one is basically done. This one was the magic white with unicorn freckles. It's got that light gold band, and then I just played with some sort of DIY lace appliques and then lettered her in the same gold that I did the ring. And then this one, so pretty. She's got her little pearly blossoms. She's really cute. Her lettering is a little subtle. I might go in and add some silver to kind of pick up the silver that's in the stone, but she is looking good. And then I have my gal who got rinsed, who needs to dry out before we re-letter her, and that's okay. She will get re-lettered once she's dry. She has a slightly more subtle applique. She's going to probably get some naughty pearls and rhinestones too. But that is my batch of rings, and I am absolutely over the moon for them. So in the next, oh gosh, that means we got to figure out what we're doing in May. I was so focused on getting these finished that I didn't even really think about the fact that once we finished the April shoes, we had another month to contemplate. So that'll be interesting to contemplate. I'm going to contemplate that, though I am, of course, if anyone has any thoughts on the matter, always interested to hear them. She's drying out pretty good, but I'm gonna pop her in the, well, I won't pop her in the dehydrator. She's good. She's almost dry. I rinsed her here. She's probably dry enough that I could letter her now. Do I want to do that since I've got everything out? Do I want to go ahead and letter her? Maybe I'll let her my last two. I know that I said, oh, I want to let them sit, but she's probably good. Yeah, she's dry enough. And she's going to get the same gold. Okay. Oh, is my little tube hiding from me? Where I just had my little tube. Ah, little tube. Yeah, she's dry enough that I can let her again. And this time I'm going to do it more subtle. Not quite as big and tall on the letters. A little bit gentler. Much better. Much more the scale I want. And that way everyone's basically caught up to the same spot. And then do I want to do the gold or do I want to do silver? Hmm. Trying to imagine it both ways. I think I'm going to do the silver. Nice. And then as before, I'm not going to put 2027 on her. And this one, I think I know where she needs to go, so I'm going to go with that. And her, I'll do gold to mix it up a little bit. Right? Or will I? Mm, yeah, I like the gold. Beauty. Beauty. Once again, careful to keep the font a good size so that it doesn't overwhelm the composition. Ooh, little bit of a, that's okay. And this one I'm going to do gold. So she still needs her flowers, but she's very cute like that. I wonder if those sequin flowers that I used on the, I wonder if sequin flowers would be good. Always more to play with, always more to mess around with. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. That is a huge amount of work. That is a huge amount of progress that we've made. And I will see you guys in the next session. And soon we're in the next session. I guess I'm going to have to announce what I'm doing in May. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm going to have to percolate on them. I'm going to have to figure it out. I do have a little bit of a something coming up this weekend, and I'll tell you all about that later. So I might not be in here. I might be, or maybe I'll prep in here. We'll see. I won't be doing the shoe marathon until next weekend. So these I'm going to consider, done for the time being. And I will see you guys probably in May. I'll see you guys in May, and we will figure out what we're doing for the next step of the marathon. But hooray for us. We crushed it on these, and we're going to keep on rolling. Bye, y'all.